Hello, everyone. Thanks for logging on to CBSColorado.com. Time now for a few extra minutes with Super Bowl 50 champion, altitude radio analyst Tyler Polumbus. Always a treat to have you on. We're talking on Monday Live all about the Broncos. I want to dive a little deeper into that first round, their first pick at 20. Any chance they trade out of the first round? They trade up. What would you like to see them do? Let me put it that way, Tyler.
Well, first off, I do think George Payton, if he had it his way, every year he would trade back and accumulate picks.
Darts. He likes to call them his darts.
Calls them darts. He likes to have his darts.
Yeah.
Sean Payton, no, that's not who he is.
Yeah,
he gets too antsy.
Yeah.
He's probably the type of dude that wants to trade up every single year. If I had to guess, they probably just stay put and they select.
Yeah.
And now they're in a spot where they picked up a tight end in free agency. If the best player on the board is a tight end, you can still take him. You definitely do need a running back. It is a fantastic class for running backs, so you don't have to take one in the first round. Ashton Jeanty falls, it's a no-brainer. Other than that, I'm probably waiting.
Okay.
And then there's going to be some good wide receivers on the board. So they're in a good spot right now. They're in a very healthy position to take the best player available at a position of need. I do think the first round is always at a position of need. Best player available, that really happens a little bit later in the draft.
It's really kind of an exciting time in Broncos country. Obviously, finally broke that playoff barrier. They got their quarterback of the future. Now, after this first wave of free agency, how much better are the Broncos heading into 2025, Tyler?
Well, I couldn't have asked for a better free agency. I love all three of the main guys that they picked up. I'm drawing a blank on the receiver's name from the Vikings. But anyways, they brought in another special teams player from the Vikings that replaces Trayvon Smith. And now they are probably the most solid defense that we've had since 2015. There's really not a hole on defense. Arguably the best secondary that we've had since the no-fly zone. It should be a top 5 secondary in the NFL. Offensively is going to be the question. Will Bo Nix have a sophomore slump? Will he continue to progress? And can you add enough playmakers around him to make this thing work?
I'm someone who, I live for a good defense. 2015 was, the best year of my life. So this is really exciting looking at this defense.
Well, thanks. I was on offense.
Well, I like a good offense, too. You guys didn't suck. No. But it's fun to see the defense feels like, okay, they really have this potential. You talk about the offense. I love you talk about the offense. Let's talk about the offensive line. For so many years, this was, such an issue. Yeah. It feels like they finally have that continuity. Are you good with what that line is now going into another season?
Yeah, they've got a good group. Garrett Bowles has earned a new contract. Quinn Miners, one of the best left guards in the NFL. Center is kind of our one position that you could upgrade if you really wanted to, but I doubt if they do. Right guard, Ben Powers over at left guard. Quinn Miners is a right guard. And then Mike McGlinchey is a very rock-solid tackle in the NFL. I like this offensive line a lot. Now, we didn't run the football very well last year. And you are not going to improve your offensive line because you're going to have the same 5 back. They're here. They're locked in. The only way to improve the running game is through a new running back, and that's going to be a big importance in the draft.
When you look at the Broncos, and it feels like, I don't know, I look at Bo, and I just don't feel like he's going to have a sophomore slump. Maybe that's me being hopeful. Maybe that's because I feel like he's so mature. But when you look at a quarterback, do you feel like, what's the indication that maybe this guy is not going to have that? Or maybe he will have a little C.J. Stroud and then come back up.
Yeah.
What do you think when you look at Bo?
Well, listen, there's no physical evidence in front of me to say that Bo Nix is going to have a sophomore slump. There'd be more evidence to say he's heading up than he is heading down.
Yeah.
So I'm not being pessimistic about this, but I've been in this league a long time. I've been around this league, covering this league for my whole life. And I've just seen it happen too many times. I was with Robert Griffin. He was on my team when he was Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then the next year, getting out of the NFL, more or less. I mean, he didn't get out of the NFL, but he lost his job. And there was a lot of things that went into that.
Sure.
We knew some things behind the scenes that said, hey, this isn't all as good as what we thought it was his rookie year. But C.J. Stroud's another great example of it. Who the heck would have saw a sophomore slump from C.J. Stroud, right? It's just the NFL starts to figure out. They've got film on you. And even if Bo Nix does regress, I don't think that means that it's a terrible thing. But if I had to guess today, I think Bo Nix is heading in the right direction, and I'm not worried about it right now.
Let's talk about the division. You got Pete Carroll coming in. For me, that makes the Raiders a lot more dangerous. You got Geno Smith. The Chiefs have lost a couple pieces in free agency, and the Chargers feel like they're maybe on the up and up. What do you make of all the rest of what the competition might be like?
Well, here's one thing I know about the Raiders now. Having played for Pete Carroll and knowing Pete Carroll schemes very, very well, they're going to be about a 500 football team.
Okay.
It's just what they are.
Right.
Year in, year out, they're going to be a 500 team. They got Geno Smith. He's a very respectable quarterback. They're going to win enough games that it's going to be challenging. Chargers are confusing.
Okay.
I never can quite figure them out. But I do like Harbaugh, and I do like Herbert, despite the playoff performance last year. Chiefs, here's the hope. The hope is that the Chiefs are finally in a window that somebody might be able to knock them down.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of evidence that they're tired. They're tired. It's been a long run, you know. So I'm not dethroning the Chiefs. I'm not going to do it. As long as Patrick Mahomes is there, this is going to be a very difficult division to win. And I think it's going to be a very, very competitive division. All these teams are going to be very respectable.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's talk about CU. Got a huge pro day coming up. We've obviously got Shedeur and Travis, but some of the other players. Talk to me about some of the other guys that you think could have a really nice career in the pros.
Yeah, well, they've got 3 wide receivers that are going to be playing in the NFL next year. You know, Jimmy Horn he didn't run as fast as he wanted to at the combine, but that's a blazing fast dude. I think he'll probably be maybe a 5th or 6th rounder, somewhere in that ballpark. What is wrong with me? Our transfer from Vanderbilt, the tall dude.
Will Shepherd?
Will Shepherd. Thank you. I love Will Shepherd.
I like Shepherd.
I mean, he feels a lot like a Tim Patrick to me.
Yeah.
You know, so he didn't get invited to the combine. But Will Shepherd is a talented football player. He's the tallest of the bunch.
Yeah.
He's probably the most physical of the bunch. Will he be an undrafted guy? Maybe. But he's going to be playing in the league.
Yeah.
Wherever he goes, he's going to find a spot in the NFL.
Well, we talk about obviously losing Shedeur and Travis. We know the CU team is going to be looking a lot different, but they're also losing Travis from the wide receiver room, LeJohante, Jimmy, Will Shepherd. Basically, like that
forgot about
whole
LeJohante, yeah.
receiver room. How different does the receiver, is that position you think going to be?
Well, that's why earlier in the show when we were talking about if CU was going to be better next year, I'm like, well, you're losing a top 10 QB. You're losing a top 2 wide receiver / defensive back in Travis Hunter. Oh, and then you're losing 3 other wide receivers at the same time. That's a lot of talent. Now, I know they're recruiting like crazy up there at CU, but I don't know how you replace that much talent on offense in 1 year. Look, there's some younger players where they've got some guys they say might even go both ways in honor of Travis Hunter. We'll see how that goes. But that's a lot of talent to lose.
Well, in the mortal words of your coach, Gary Kubiak, we are fixing to find out. My favorite quote. Tyler, you are the best. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you again soon. There's never an off season in football. Guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.